Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for stopping by the live stream. I really appreciate it. What's up, Jacob Tanjay, NTZ crew, all my fourth quarter members. What times it travels? What's up, Ray? Roger Walker. Appreciate y'all, man. Yep, retired to the DJ with the VJ. For the VJ. All my old heads. That's Q. What's up? Appreciate y'all support. What's up, Obi-Wan Denobi? Paragraphics. You must be busy, man. We ain't seen you. Anybody joining us for the first time today? Any new viewers and subscribers, welcome. Anybody catching this on replay? Let me see what the peso was because I got 61.52, but it's lower than that now. It says something about it's 61.41 because oil is down. Y'all know where that comes from. We always have a topic. Today's topic is the Philippines is no place for a cheapskate. No cheap Charlies allowed. You know, one thing about the Philippines, too much sunshine to be cheap over here. To be broke, you're always going to want to be doing something, going somewhere. It keeps you in vacation mode. I may end up going to a beach here either this weekend or one day next week. He said, you have to pay a price for peace of mind. Don't go overboard, though. Yeah, that's true, man. He said, happy 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day. Hey, thank you, Roger. He said, good morning, good evening, Cal, and everyone. Cal will catch you on replay. Oh, okay, I'm in Chattanooga for the 4th. Oh, okay, yeah. I saw where that 250-year, the Great American Parade, that was shot. That didn't happen. What's up, Big Love? You know, pesos really is staying up there, man. You know, that's why, when I did my video yesterday, it was time for new furniture, man. I redid the whole place. I don't know why when I showed you the house where there was no audio. I don't know what happened because I was telling y'all about the audio that, I bought me a king-size bed. It was only $550. Listen, guys, I promise you. What? Are you going to make it? Or your mother? Okay. Imagine this, guys. The king-size mattress set. It was regular 47,000 pesos, but they took 40% off. It came up to 28,000, because we were going to get the twin size, right? Oh, not the twin size, the queen size. I'm sorry, what we had before. And I was like, and they wanted 22,000 for that. And I was like, well, hell, we might as well do the king size, man. This thing is huge. It didn't look that big because I had the steady mode. I had it in that steady mode. It makes everything, it fills the screen up. But this thing is huge, man. Everything in here is new. Hey, thank you, Blizzard Abroad, for that super chat. He said support positive content creators. Hey, I really appreciate it, man. But yeah, I went on and broke down, man, because we had that furniture for a long time. I know that little living room suite we had, it was at least 3 years old. And it was beat up. The dinette set was beat up. So Merlin kind of kicked off something in my mind. And we're going to talk about this today because this is 100% what happened to me when she wanted that television rack. That's what they call it. And so when we went to see it, I was like, well, what you gonna do? She's talking about putting that little 36-inch screen on there. I was like, nah, it's not gonna work. And I didn't want to go overboard and get like a 65-inch or something like that. So I got a 50-inch. And it looked perfect on there. And then I was like, well, hell, I saw that section over there. Okay, imagine, nothing of itself except for these mattresses. This was the highest thing, was $28,000. The headboard was $7,000. The television was 24, I think, or 28 or 24. The rack was 23. The sectional was 26, and the dinette set was 27.5. And what y'all didn't hear me say was that's mahogany. It took 3 guys to bring that table in, man. So, I wasn't just gonna, be cheap because it's, I got Booby here. Our furniture gets a lot of use, and if you be cheap over here, it's gonna show. What's up off the land, on the road, over the seas? To Calvin, I'm in the back of a tricycle, and they want to charge me extra because I'm a heavy foreigner. I don't know where you are. I never get that charge. They don't do that here. And they had did I tell y'all that they had the charter day here, man? I wish I had some pictures. They're on Facebook. It's usually like 1 million people that come here. And y'all think I'm playing, you're like, yeah, it's not true. It really is, man. I mean, it's a lot of people, and they don't spur any expense. They bring the top acts here every year. And they brought Ben and Ben, which is big here. What's up, Sheldon? But I didn't go, man. I try to stay away from them crowds and stuff. But yeah, now the house really looks nice. It looks modern. I even bought these 2 pictures, man. We didn't have any pictures on the wall in here. I was like, here, give me them 2. Got the blackout. See, that's why you can't see the sun coming in here. I went on and got the blackout curtains. The only reason you can see it because I got this side open. Otherwise, man, I'd be dark in here. He said, yeah, don't be the tent guy. Yeah, man, this guy, if y'all knew on here, man, it was a guy that came over here. He was in about 28 miles from Dumaguete. It's called Zamboanguita. I was staying there for the summer. And, I was with my wife at the time. And he's married to one of her friends. This fool came over here and didn't stay in a hotel or Airbnb. He put up a tent in her mother's yard. Cheap, man. Yeah, it was cheap. But yeah, Blizzard's the real deal, man. He really be about it, man. I'm not just talking about that super chat. I'm saying his subjects and stuff, man. But the algorithms is so fucked up, man. But I asked y'all to go over there, man. So at least you could do. It's the same people that's over there that's going to be over there that's over here. He just got a lot of deeper content sometimes, a positive manosphere sort of spin that he puts on that. But yeah, I broke down. I'm kind of glad, but I want to talk about today. Don't come over here and cheat yourself, man. Okay, the Philippines is like, no matter what people say about it, it's like a forever vacation for real. And I know it was a guy in my video yesterday says, oh, I've been here 4 months and the honeymoon period is over, right? It's because he's not traveling, guys. He's not getting around. There's no way in 4 months that you done seen the Philippines, dude, that you tired and you burned out already. You're just sitting in one spot, probably in IT Park, BGC, or something like that. It's too much stuff to see here. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. Are you broke? Which one is it? Are you cheap and don't want to spend no money? No way in 4 months, the honeymoon's over with you. Bullshit. I I'm not buying that. But I want to talk about the top 10 reasons that drive our spending. Because over here especially, but this can go anywhere you are, but certainly here, because one thing I learned a long time ago, the people say, yeah, it's cheaper in the Philippines. It is. But you end up spending more money. And then you go home and you're like, well, I thought it was cheap over here. It's some things that are in our psyche. He said, hey, Unc, did you hear that Mallet Kuros won Congress? Yeah, at 29 years old. Well, this is the revolution I was telling y'all about. I'm not the only one that thinking like this, man. People aren't stupid. They're like, we're tired of these people that are in office and not doing anything. Now let her sit there and not do anything. See, this is that big wave of see, here's what's messing us up, and I'm part of this. The baby boomers. We won't get out of the way and let the new generation come in. We hold on to power too long. We done fucked up the country, man. It's like, get out of the way. And let these new people come in, breathe some new air, new ideas, and, get rid of a lot of that old indoctrination. And, it's too much pro-Israel going on in the baby boomer generation because we was brought up like that. That Israel was a good guy, blah, blah, this. But this new generation, 29-year-old woman's looking like, well, where's the goodness at? They're committing a genocide over there. They've attacked all the countries over there. They gave the United States 7 countries to attack. We've attacked all of them, Iran being the last. And they're saying, look, we really want America first. I'm not surprised, man. I'm happy. He said, Cal, where'd you get that shirt? I had this made when I was in Zamboanga during the lockdown. It was just something. It was just a play on the Black Lives Matter, Pinoy Lives Matter. But I'm so thankful, man. Get all of them. Remember, come on, Q, you've been following me. I said they all need to be replaced. How many times have I said that? Every last one of them. They talking about Trump getting all this money from Bitcoin. Well, damn it, the woman in Texas that talks all that shit, the black woman, she getting all that money from the same people that made Trump rich. They funding her campaign. She ended up losing. What's her name? The black lady that talks all that shit. And I said, yeah, lady, you talk a lot of shit, but you ain't doing nothing. Come to find out, she's taking all that Bitcoin money and crypto money. People are tired of that. We really want America first. What's up, Greg? He said, hey, Cal, hope you and the family are doing well. We are, man. Booby's back to school. They get 2 days off for the Charter Day. Charter Day was Wednesday. They got Wednesday and Thursday. He said, morning, Sunshine Shows family. What's up? He said, here at the LTO to renew. Oh, okay. What, your driver's license? That's what some guy was saying to me. He said, do I drive a motor over here? Absolutely not. And people was like, yeah, Marilyn, she really looks comfortable behind the wheel of that e-bike now. Of course. She had no choice. I wasn't going to drive that thing. That's not why I bought it, man. I can't get I can't get used to the traffic patterns and stuff and the way they drive over here. He said, you mean I can't live with my Pinoy and her family? Yeah, you can if you want. He said, you mean to tell me I shouldn't camp in the parents' front yard with a tent? Yeah. He was the worst, man. But that story didn't even end then. To be honest with you. A year or two, a couple of years later, no, it was a few years later, he had brought his wife over to America, and I had my wife and son over, and they were coming through, they were on their way back to Oklahoma City. That's where they're from. And on the way, they had to come through Louisville, and they stopped at our house. It comes to find out this guy was mega before mega. He was what he was called, one of them Christian, what they call them? Before it was mega, and a lot of them are mega now. Well, anyway, I didn't know it. I just thought he was a cool guy, but no, he did not like black people, man. He could not stand that we were going to cook dinner for them. My wife done went out because the wife is for it. She wants some good Filipino food. He got 2 kids, not by the woman. They're teenagers. They done took their shoes off. They on my couch, on their computer. I went to the store, bought stuff. My wife, the minute she got the food done, he said, that's time we got to leave. And guess what? They end up going to Subway. Rotten bastard. I hope he's watching. He said, I went to the grocery store. I got the full exchange rate, but yesterday was their payday. It was so busy. Yeah, it was the payday. You're right. Let me see. When did I pay my electric bill? Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. No, I paid it yesterday, but it was the day before when they got paid here. Because every line was long. BO pay, the bank. But I can't get, I think they get paid on the 5th and the 20th. I'm not really sure. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, it really looks nice now. And then the brother came over and doing some touch up on the paint, where some of it might have chipped off. Because I'm getting ready to get like a little carport built out here. It's sort of like what we got in the back, because with this e-bike, man, you got to protect your investment. I probably ain't going to spend no more about $20,000 to have that done. Plus whatever it is it costs him. That'd probably be labor included, because, I just want to drive in. Have Maryland just drive in and that's it. We cover that thing every night. What's up, Johnny? But yeah, don't be cheap over here, man. This is, see, this isn't cheap stuff. You got to understand. People always say, oh, man, is it really, the Philippines is just as expensive as it is in America? That's bullshit, man. You can't get a sectional in America that's 26,000 pesos. The peso is 61, just say 61 and a half. What is that? $425? And if you sit in this, when you come to my house, you'll think I'm lying. You sit in those chairs, man. They soft, man. What's up? Chris, what's up, crazy black American? He said, Big Bro Cal and Sunshine Shoulders community. My favorite digital crew. He says, I read no place for brokies, then I grabbed my popcorn. Well, if you really want to have a good time, what it is and what it isn't. They're not traveling around. They're not enjoying the place. They don't have the money to do it. The guy, what's his name? Dan Hilarious? And I'm not calling him out. He just said, it's my 4 months and I'm burned out. The honeymoon period is over. I'm like, how? You're still on your honeymoon. It takes years. What are you doing, or what are you not doing? Yeah, he said Santo Domingo. I was watching a video the other day, but it was on, what's that other place that's popular over there in the Dominican Republic? Yeah, treat yourself while you can. This is perfect. That's right. But there's something, okay, let's talk about, and we'll, this is your live stream. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. I do want to talk a little bit about the video I made yesterday, and, it's cheaper to keep, like, the whole point of that was don't get yourself in a situation where you got to make that decision. Be smarter, man. You know, I got skins in the game. I'm fully invested. I'm fully vested over here now. I can't do nothing but, you know, improve my situation. It would be ludicrous at this point for me to start over. And uh, I'm good at starting over. But no, I'm not going to do it now. But don't put yourself in that situation, man. Think long and hard about some of the decisions you make. And I did kind of want to talk about, you know, what happens to the Filipina when there's a breakup. And people's like, well, who cares about her? Well, you know, sometimes you do. You know, sometimes it is cheaper to keep her because I didn't talk about the threats of being deported and all that you go through. You're gonna have to move anyway. But the three options she got is to get back on the dating site, which a lot of them do. You spoil them. You know, they want to continue to get the aircon, the hot water, the real mattress, and stuff like that. You know, they're looking for somebody else to finance their lifestyle and make their dreams come true. You know, he said the Tea Party. Now, I wasn't talking about the Tea Party. I'm talking about them Christian, what do they call them? I don't know who this guy is. He says Cisco's putting in work with the live stream. Oh, yeah, your live streams. I see him on the, you know, y'all don't understand that. But I wasn't talking about mega. I'm talking about these Christian guys. What were they called? Like, what was his name that died? Um, I'll think about it in a minute. No, he didn't try to pitch the. Ain't nobody putting no tent in my yard. I didn't have a place then. But she was telling my wife about it, and I was like, come on, man. Y'all crazy. Conservatives, Christian conservatives, I guess that was what you would call it. Hey, what's up, Coach Cheats? Long time, man. No, it wasn't a Tea Party. It was the Christian conservatives. Yeah, all of them need to resign. He's a baby boomer, man. We won't get out of the way. But what was that black lady's name from Texas? Or all the weaves and stuff. You know, she talks a good game, but she wasn't doing anything. She got defeated. She's taking. They did an investigation on her, man. I knew it was something about her. Wasn't right, man. She's taking all that crypto money from the same people that's Trump taking his from. What's up, Michael Alexander? Yeah, that's just a three-piece sectional. I always wanted one anyway when I was here, but I ended up buying one of them traditional living room suits because they watch TV in there. I don't. Yeah, Sasua. Thank you. Yeah, Sasua. What was that black woman's name, guys? Come on, help me. Jasmine. It's Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, that's it. I was like, yeah, she talks a good game, you know, sitting there grilling them people under oath, but wasn't doing anything. And they went quiet when the war started. You don't hear from none of them on either side. And come to find out, she's taking money, man. Yeah, I can admit that we're in the way, guys. We need to get out of the way. And this is one of the problems in America. Leadership holds on too long. Ego, power tripping, or whatever it is, they're getting all that money. They won't step aside for the new generation. You can look in your church and see that. You got guys up there 70, 75 years old still preaching. Like, sit down somewhere, man. Everywhere you go, they won't step aside. And, man, our government's suffering because of it. Yeah. Then she was the only sitting congressman to ever do a promotion. You know, she was out there campaigning for the opposition who's running against one of her, fellow congressmen. She's the first one to ever do it. He said, I sent a request to the name you said yesterday, but maybe there's a in the name or it's not one word. What are you talking about? He said, old people shouldn't be in leadership. They are so out of touch with the world. In a lot of things, man, if you got on the plane and there was a guy 80 years old flying the plane, man, you'd be skeptical, man. And see, they've gotten quiet about Trump earning all this money. Trump's a baby boomer, man. We done fucked up the country, man. I don't care what y'all say. So, no, it doesn't surprise me that woman beat that 12-time, what was she, a 12-time incumbent? Like, come on, you stupid ass lady. You ain't done nothing all those years. That's the crazy thing. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I like Cagandioro. But let's talk about the first one, the top 10 reasons that drive our spending over here or wherever you are really, but certainly over here. Number one, of course, is to live. The basic survival needs, housing, groceries, etc. Now, we're not talking about what you're spending money on. We're talking about what drives us to spend. Because I know when you get over here, this is all psychological. Your psychology changes once you get off that plane. And anybody that's ever come here for the first time are still on their honeymoon will tell you I'm not lying. Your psychology changes when you get off that plane. Whether a woman's waiting for you at the airport or not. The sun is shining, man, that you get that whiff of that air. You just know that you're in another country on the other side of the planet. But that's the first thing that drives you. These are in order. Okay? The second thing is to enhance their lifestyle and convenience. See, we pay a premium to buy back our time or make our daily task easier, like Grab or in America, Uber. Food delivery, now it's big. We got a maid over here. Because you hear people talk about that all the time, how convenient it is in America. Well, when you come over here, you're trying to buy some of that convenience back. And it costs you. What's up, Kamal? He said 65 is the maximum age for commercial airline pilots. Yeah, that's a federal regulation. But here's what I'm saying, I love LaChon. They should make that for a lot of other stuff. Yeah, Bernie Sanders, get his ass out of there. What about him? He ain't doing nothing but talking a bunch of shit too. He went quiet. He went quiet. No, she was getting the money before. This is who was financing her campaign. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. Keep scrolling, man. We don't need you skirt keepers and dick watchers. Dick monitors, I call them, cock blockers on here. Fuck out of here, telling grown men what to do. He said, "What's up, Cal? Glad to catch your live stream. Go on your channel with that foolishness. Don't tell me what. I'm not making, that's not the subject today. Geechee Land music." Yeah, they was about to. That shit got canceled. He said, "I came over to save money. I can't save shit." But this is a big one, man, to enhance your lifestyle and convenience. You know, we buy back a lot of our time in that convenience, man. I told y'all when I be in Cebu and Manila, man, I spend a lot of money on Grab. But number 3 is retail therapy. Now, this is what happened to me. Okay? When I went shopping with Maryland to get that television rack, we call it a television stand. It says shopping is a coping mechanism to lift moods, distract from stress, and alleviate sadness. We visualize a better life through new possessions. Yeah. Brings an immediate sense of reward and comfort. That's what I feel now when I walk in the house. It was retail therapy for me. This is what happened. Now, old is age. Okay, I'm sorry when it comes to, doing the right thing. Just step to the side and let, the new generation come. Just like somebody stepped aside and let us take the reins. Let the new people do it. The fresh ideas. America, man, is stale. We really need some fresh ideas. We need new leadership. You got a president selling every damn thing. Man, it made $2.2 billion. And people are so damn quiet about it. Well, Obama was in there selling his books, and it gave him hell. Now, you don't want that. What? You don't want no maid with benefits. He said, "Man, I wonder what it's like." Yeah, let her get mad at you. Then she gonna be like that lady in, where was she when her ex came through the drive-thru and she put the damn fries in her mouth and then put them back in the little packet, at McDonald's. And it went viral. See, I don't want that. Yeah, it said Jasmine Crockett won't endorse the Democrat running for Senate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's the first one that's ever campaigned for the opposition. And she did it on television. These people ain't doing nothing for you. Now you don't want no maid with benefits. She might rub you down the burger between her legs before she puts it on the grill. Because there was a lady somebody sent me I think it was you, Sam McCall, sent me a link where they locked up the waitress in, I done lost my mind today. I can't think, in Hooters, for sticking wings up in her vagina and then serving them to customers. This is the type of people we got over there, man. Crazy, man. I don't eat out. Yeah, that's Geechee Land, man. Don't come on here tell me how to manage my channel. Manage your own damn channel, man. It's just something that came across. We're not really... Hugh brought it up. Okay, I didn't start out with that. And I said to him, I've been telling y'all all along, they all need to be replaced. Everybody from your city council, your school board, all the way up to the president. We need a revolution. They all need to be replaced because they're not doing anything. Hell, I've been saying that for so many years now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy, man. But we're afraid because, politics is a dirty game. It's dangerous for real. You got to go along, man, or they'll kill you. You start messing around with that legislation that's keeping them people rich and powerful, they'll get rid of your ass. But yeah, retail therapy is what got me, man. I feel so much better. Man, my whole bedroom changed. I really didn't show y'all. We're sitting there. They called it a queen size. In America, it was a damn full size bed. And then whenever Booby gets into her feelings and wants to sleep with us, I'm literally got this much mattress. So we were staying in an Airbnb in Manila this last time with a king size bed. And I told Merlin, I'm gonna get a king size bed. This is what we need at home. Never thinking I was gonna actually go out and buy it, but I put it out there in the universe. I said, this is what we need. And I'll be damned, we got it. He said, I live in San Francisco, so it feels like a steal no matter what I buy or how often I buy. I'm already here spending around 150 to 180 ordering restaurant food on DoorDash. Yeah, see, it doesn't matter where you are. This is going to apply to you, but certainly in places like this where you say, well, I thought it was cheap over here. And you feel yourself spending just as much money here as you do at home. There's a psychology behind it. We really don't want to come to a place that's different. We really just want to come to a place where things are the same. People don't like change. Certainly the older you get, you want the same restaurants that you eat at home. Dude, you're not in America, I'll be telling you guys. What's up, Elad? We don't want to get you mad because I know Jasmine Crockett's probably your girl from over there. Yeah, but we need to get rid of all of them. We need to get rid of all of them. The last time it was Kamala. She was going to do the same thing. She, she said it out of her own mouth. They asked her, what are you going to do different than Sleepy Joe Biden? Or nothing. They doomed her. Like, lady, now she's talking to Mandani, trying to get advice from him because she's thinking about running again. Lady, we done already seen what's under your skirt. Okay, I'm sorry. He said, I disagree. The Philippines offers a variety of different lifestyles. It's possible to live on $1,000 budget or less. So the Philippines can be cheap depending on the person. Yeah, but you're not going to get the best out of the Philippines. Not on $1,000 a month. Come on, man. Don't come on my channel with that. It's foolishness. Yeah, your living expenses, can you pay your rent, utilities, and food? I'm talking about if you cooking your food, going to the groceries, but that's it for $1,000. Okay? You get nothing else. Now, that's all you come over here to do is just hang around. But people don't come over here to hang around. Because if they do, they get bored. And they get ready to go home. $1,000 is not going to make it. Am I telling you don't do it? No, I'm telling you, yeah, you're not going to have no hell of a lifestyle over here. No $1,000 a month. Can you live over here and survive over here? Yeah. But that's about it. Then you're going to be trying to come up with a sorry store, maybe an old restaurant or something foolish like that. We come over here to retire. We ain't trying to work. Them days of $1,000 a month is over. If you just want to escape America or England or something like that and come over here and be like, okay, that's it. That's all you're going to do. What's up, W Secret Sister? Says another Texas guy. We got the Texas Hold'em in here tonight. The Texas Shootout. Cal, tell Merlin to slow down on hitting those corners in that golf wagon. That thing is so big.
That's why I'm sorry.
Look how big that thing's eyes. Is that a good fish?
That's fresh.
Why is the eyes so big like that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do that. But I don't want nothing toward that head. I want everything in the back. That damn fish is big. The eyes is this big. Well, Merlin didn't have a choice but to learn how to drive that thing. Yeah, he said 12 people. Because I wasn't going to drive it. Not me. I wouldn't. I see where John Legend's coming here. But I saw him before. He's good, too. I saw him in India Reed back in 2008 at the casino. Yeah, another mental case now. This lady, okay, she sees at the drive-thru, they can see you. And it's her ex. So she puts the fries in her mouth and then puts them, in the pack and then puts them in the bag. It's just the psyche that's going on in America now, man. It's just no way I ate out very little while I was there. If you can't fry it, I don't want it because at least you can fry some of them damn germs off the damn thing. But the lady was sticking wings in her vagina. He sent me the link and come to find out she's crazy for real. Yeah, they doing all that kind of stuff. And the younger they are, the more likely they tampering with your food over there, dropping it on the ground, because they did all this to the lady in Oklahoma before they spit on her food. And then in Atlanta, or right outside Atlanta, the person, I don't know what, it wasn't Arby's, it was Wendy's. Okay, the lady complained about her order. So they dumped it in the garbage and pretended like, okay, we're fixing your order, and took her food, the same food they threw in the garbage, and put it back and served it, and she ate it. Yeah, they doing all kind of stuff over there in America, man. That's why I don't care. I pay extra at the market. Maryland knows I'm not eating out a lot. Now, if somebody comes here to visit me, and I'll take them to Malwani or Mr. C or Palau, but that's about it. Okay? Yeah, but Trump is trying to sell gym shoes. He is. He made so many millions. They went through that whole thing on CNN. How much he made off the buy? I think he made, believe it or not, guys, I think Trump made $2 million. It was either $2 million or $20 million on them damn Bibles he was selling. He's a clown, man. He says, I moved here in April 2026, found a nice home for rent in CDO, 3 bedrooms, furnished, the whole house for about $100,000. So definitely not time to be cheap here, but I'm definitely comfortable. Yeah. Okay, how much is your rent? Yeah, $100,000 gonna get you some good stuff over here. It's just what are you spending your money on? Now, if you're spending it, we're not talking about women. Okay, that's a whole other conversation. Even bar girls, man. People, what I mean? Men go broke over here dealing with them bar girls because they're not cheap. Oh, absolutely. We need it everywhere. Okay, when you get old in sports, what do? They get rid of your ass, don't they? Only in politics do they keep your old ass around. Yeah, they all need to go. We need a replacement from the school board all the way up, even the Supreme Court. Okay? But yeah, let's go to the next one. This gets us over here too. Social status. No, it says, yeah, social status and prestige. Showing off your success, intelligence, or wealth. You know, it's your money, but this is what drives us. You know that a lot of people over here struggling, so yeah, you got you a Harley Davidson or a nice Toyota or whatever, wearing nice shoes. Social status and prestige. Number 5 is social connection, meaning, when you dine out, going to parties, buying gifts, drinks at the bar. This drives us to spend a lot of money over here. Ask them guys that live up in Angeles City. Man, when I went there, man, them bars, I ain't talking about the girly bars. I'm talking about the regular bars at Flash restaurants. Man, them places were packed. That Saturday night we were there. I mean, there wasn't a seat in the house. What else? They should have a special jail for people like this. Not only sentence them to a certain amount of years, but tamper with their food. They gave that guy, I told y'all they gave him 4 years. They actually gave him 18 months. And he can't work around food ever again. That was working in a pizza place for the Detroit Tigers, during the Detroit Tigers game. One of his co-workers filmed him doing it. I think they even tried to charge the co-worker. Hold on, guys. I got to plug this up. I don't know what I was thinking. Shoot. Damn it. I thought I plugged it up. Yeah, they was like, fool, you complicit. Yeah, what are you doing? And I guess turned him in. But yeah, he was hot tooey on people's pizza, sitting there laughing at it, right? And they gave his ass 18 months. They gave him 18 months, and he can never, ever, ever work around food again. Now, how they're going to, unless there's something in his records. Hey, what's up, Mr. Stone? What's up? When he's talking about, yeah. See that, but you bring up a good point here too. This even happened to you at home. A lot of places they're not wearing hairnets, and they got long hair over here, man. And you're gonna get the hair in your food before it's all said and done. I remember the very first time I went to Bahal, Panglao Bahal, Alona Beach. I'm eating carbonara. And I'll be down if it was a fly in my damn food. And don't you know they try to give me hell like they didn't do it. I was like, what do you think? I'm going to put a fly in my own food for 200 pesos, lady? Hey, he says, it's awesome to see you live your best life, bro. Man, I'm not even the only one. Thank you. It's so many over there. There's so many over here around the world. We just want to be like the example that you can do it. It's not to brag or boast and all that stuff. Come on, man. 2,500 is nothing. Some of you guys are earning that every week. He said, we the people are being played. Yeah, big time. By all sides of the government. Yeah. They're all getting paid and putting on a show for us people. It's the good cop, bad cop tactic. Yeah, just saying. This is true. Bernie Sanders, his wife, he married into a rich family. He's rich. I don't buy none of that stuff. It's time for you to sit down, Bernie, because you're not doing anything. You're not changing anything. You basically a motivational speaker. You going around getting paid, talking shit, and doing nothing. He said, peace and love, family. It's time for the Dodgers baseball. Okay. I think this is the book right here, man. I'm going to tell my son to read it. It's such a good book, man. Yeah, but this is what happens. This is what we're doing. We don't want change for real. This is the one thing we complain about, that it's not America, or it's not England, or whatever. It's the Philippines. Man, what do you think? I want something that's different. That's why when I see the strange things I think that are strange over here, I just admire it. I sit back and admire it. Like the other day, and y'all have seen this if you've been over here long enough. You may see 4 people on a scooter, right? Even a little bitty baby, and they're holding the baby, right? Instead of criticizing them and saying, oh man, look, that's too dangerous, I just sit back and soak it in like I'm in a different place. It's a different culture. That's their station wagon. Okay, that's all that is. But whenever I see something different like that, I admire it, man. It's interesting to me. I'm glad I'm not at home. He said, Q disagree with everything. Well, he could come over here with $1,000 if he wants. It's going to be just a sad life, man. I'm telling anybody over there. What are you going to do? Just walk around? Sightsee? You're going to be living paycheck to paycheck. Because that 1,000 ain't going to last for 2 weeks. Yeah, that's it. It ain't going to last. Yeah, this is the sad about Mitch McConnell. Yeah, but you ain't going to be doing it over here. He said he likes to make money. I find ways to earn money, you mean. Only people who make money work at the U.S. Mint. Picasso Green, remember that. That's what Napoleon Hill said. You don't make money. No, Earl Nightingale said that. You earn money. You don't make it. He said, I think some people keep doing that exchange rate in their heads, end up spending more than necessary. It's a peso economy. For sure. But our psychology changes when we get over here, man. This really is a vacation place. I don't know why there's only 5 million that came here last year. I don't know what the tourism department needs to do. I just know that it gives me that vacation feel every day. Look at the sunshine every day. I know it's summertime basically around the world, certainly in America. But pretty soon, you guys are going to be freezing. I'm going to be like this every day. No, I don't care where you live. $1,000 is going to be tough, Q. Yeah, you can easily put that up there and say, oh yeah, my rent, my food, my utilities. But then everything's going to stop. Everything's going to get quiet. Okay, you were taking your family. I've been watching your videos. You're taking them to the zoo. You're taking them to other different places. Come on, man, it costs. And then that fancy hotel y'all stayed in for 2 days for $800. You done blew your damn load right there. What are you talking about? It goes to show you that that's in your head. You're not going to change overnight with that. You spent $800 for 2 nights in the hotel. But now all of a sudden $1,000's enough. Where'd that come from? Was you lying? That was a big ass hotel room. you're going to get that itch every now and then to do something. And all you got is 1,000. Man, these women that got help. Guys, okay? He said, of course 1,000 ain't enough. You live in these bubble cities and eating out every day. What's wrong with eating a home-cooked meal and watching a movie with your woman? Well, what kind of home-cooked meal? Chicken is 240, 250 pesos a kilo now. There's nothing wrong with that. I do that most times, but if I want to get up and go to Boracay or Bohol or Bantayan Island, Manila, somewhere, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be limited by my bankroll, not like that. Not $1,000, man, you limited yourself. He said, do they fry fish out there? Yeah. Yeah, they do. We had fried fish yesterday. And the only reason I ate it, because usually I don't eat fried food. I put my food in the air fryer, but it looked so good yesterday, and it was the kind that I like. It's more like, it's that orange fish. Yeah, but it is. The Philippines is popular. It's always going to be popular. But, the good stuff doesn't sell, certainly on YouTube. If you talk about how good it is over here, people are going to think you're lying. They're not going to punch on it. They're going to say, oh, he's sugarcoating it. That's why I give the 360. You got to tell, the whole story. Man, there's some nice-ass places over here. And if you got the money and you ain't trying to be cheap, you can enjoy them. I got friends, man, who live in Solanea, right across from Ayala Mall in Cebu. You tell me they ain't living, but it's not cheap? It is popular. But you're not going those guys, all you got to do is put a video like, this is why the foreigners are leaving in droves the Philippines, because, this is a human man. We're on alert for danger and everything. So you're going to click on something like that. But the good stuff, he said, yeah, that thing at Wendy's was beyond crazy. It is, man. And then they're going to look out silly when they taking the police, the mug shots. Like somebody to kick you in your ass for doing people like that. Who raised y'all? Stupid. Man, you got to be careful, man. Certainly in America. Ain't no way. They used to do that shit back in the day. I ain't trying to, look, the restaurants in our community were just as good. You think I'm going to go out to Woolworth and all that and people spit in your food, shit in your food and all that, and okay, you black ass fool, you wanna eat over here. It ain't really accomplished nothing. He said 3,000 a month would allow you to live okay.
Jennifer will be here. Jennifer gonna be.
She's doing mine first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Move a little bit over.
Okay. So what are you doing dressed like that? Where are you going? To a strip club? No, you're gonna live damn good over here for 3,000. Okay? It ain't gonna be no okay. Hey, we want to apologize the other day. We want to apologize the other day.
Oh.
I told Marilyn that you should have just contacted us. We would have came home. But my nails and broke off. And yeah, I've got the manicurista over here today. And she comes to our house and it's what, 300? Yeah, 300 for the manicure and pedicure. 300 pesos, which remember the dollar is 61 pesos to the dollar, so it's less than $5. And she comes to your house. But no, 3,000 a month, you're gonna live damn good here in the Philippines. I don't care where you live. It's gonna be better than okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, he said, don't be cheap on yourself. Yeah, make a good plan and don't forget insurance. Yeah, that's true. But the 3,000 now, you're gonna live damn good here. He said a fool with 1,000 a month dream is destined for a cardboard shelter. Yeah, it ain't gonna last. You could do that for, a month, come over here for a vacation. But to live here on 1,000 every month, that's all you're getting? Crazy. And don't give me that, because locals do it. Yeah, but you're not gonna live like a local. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. He said, for how many years straight before you are bored out of your mind with that 1,000? It ain't gonna take no years straight. He ain't gonna make it 1 year with that. Yeah, he said at least have money to take an occasional trip. Yeah, I'm not trying to burly wing it. I was doing it. I was taking care of us on $1,400 a month during the lockdowns, but we couldn't go nowhere. If it would have been wide open, man, come on. He said never give your food back to be cooked over. I've seen guys drop steak on the floor and put it on the grill anyway. Yeah, they feel some kind of way when you do that. Certainly if the place is crowded and they back there sweating anyway, they got sweat dripping in your macaroni and cheese. They don't care, man. I'm not going to deal with it. He said, yeah, some people are just too diabolical and don't want to see anybody happy. You're pure haters. But you got to be careful who you allow to cook your food. It's terrible, man, that you even got to think like that. He says the first place we eat whenever we come back from overseas. Oh, what are you talking about? In-N-Out? He said, yeah, that's what he likes, bar girls. Well, you can like it, but you're going to go broke over here dealing with bar girls. You think they free? What, you think you buy one, take one? Oh, In-N-Out is good, man. The last time I had In-N-Out was 2015. I was out in, I think is it called Newberry, California? About an hour outside of LA. I was out there for some training with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And one of the guys from LA took me there. Oh, man. It's so good. No, bull crap. It's not. That's not true. Because, see, all you guys is doing, when you say stuff like that, you said a bar girl is cheaper than a full-time roommate with benefits. Yeah, if you're only seeing, one bar girl a week, you're not going to do that. Your greedy ass ain't going to do no, excuse my language, one bar girl a week. That's why those guys go broke. He said, you got to do a one-on-one with Q. I want to bring him on here, man, because I want y'all to put a name to a face, because really he's a good guy. He's just, going through the Philippine withdrawals. He misses his wife and his son over here. But you ain't gonna live you ain't gonna live no simple life. Dude, you didn't live a simple life, Q. You lying. I saw your video. You took your family to Manila, I think, somewhere, and spent all that money. For that hotel room for 2 days. So that blew up your $1,000 budget right there. That's what's going to happen. He said, I crunched the numbers. Yeah, well, what are you dealing with? You're dealing with the bottom of the barrel, 500 pesos bar girls, freelancers. If Joseph Relic was still on here, he's the one that said the bar fine up in Angeles City is from 5,000 to 10,000. That's just to get the girl out of there. Then you got to tip her. That's okay. That's why I don't deal with them. And then you're going to fall in love. Okay? You're going to fall in love. Because there was a popular vlogger. I ain't going to call him out. He's ready to walk away from his family. Went up there in Angeles City, got to fooling with them bar girls up there. One of them rang his bell. And his best friend talked him out of it. Like, man, get your ass out of here. Take care of your business up here and go back home to your family. He fell in love. Y'all be shocked if I told you who it was. You know, but I ain't into that. I'm just saying, you know, you better be careful. You better know what you're doing in them bars. I don't deal with them. I don't work on the clock. But you ain't crunched no numbers. Not over here, you didn't. Crazy. Yeah, I like the in and out. But let's go to the next one. The fifth one was social connection. You know, when you're going out, the meet and greets and stuff like that. Okay. Personal growth and education. Like over here, you spend a lot of money. Tuition, gym memberships, you know, healthcare, like Obi-Wan Kenobi said, your health insurance, books. This is what drives you to spend. But you ain't doing none of that with $1,000 a month. Okay? $1,000 a month, guys, is nothing. I don't care where you live. We're living in 2026. $1,000 a month is nothing. That's like having $100 in America. Okay, I got grown ass children. Okay, I got grandkids. Okay, I got 4 daughters. They all got kids. I sent them $100 a piece the other day. That's $400 already gone. That 100 didn't do nothing. You know, I just told them buy pizza or whatever. But that's $400 gone right there. $1,000 is nothing, man. A lot of times, though, if you haven't, it's even gonna happen at home sometime because there's no hair in that. He said some people will still eat after the flies lay eggs in the food. Well, you can't see them little flies, can you? Now, Christian conservatives was what they would call them. This is what they call them now. Christian nationalists. They're dangerous, man. You know, they're waiting for the end of the world. Well, go on, kill yourself. They ain't no seem like trouble. They are trouble. Imagine what they go through. And then they look at every man like he's the same. I don't blame you. He says, I've been here for 6 months. I've never been to the bars or clubs. I've been here for 17 years. I've never been to, only time I went was when I had my meet and greet in Angeles City. I was with my woman, Marilyn. We just walked down Walking Street just to see what it was like. We didn't go in any places. Yeah, that's what, if you got the wrong woman, okay, if you got the wrong woman, you could be right. But if you got the right woman, he says, you can have a different bar girl anytime you want to. Okay, but what's that saying? The same girl every day and paying every day, your pockets would never get a break. Yeah, they will, if you know what you're doing. Remember, you only spend money where you're going to benefit too. You're not just throwing money away out here. But if you got the right woman, it's okay to be with her every day. See, I got the right woman. If you with the right woman over here, it's like being on your honeymoon every day. You guys don't know what the right woman is. He said, yeah. Yeah, that's only because you don't have it right now, Q. You don't have it free and clear. That's the only reason you're saying that. You made a video, Q, where you claim you spent $2.5 million for a 2,000 square meter lot in the province. And that's a lot of money for that. I'm just telling you. But you claim that's what you paid for it. So where's $1,000 a month going to do that? Then you just cheap. And then you put a little teeny tiny kubo on the damn lot. See, these videos are old. You claim you were building a house. Ain't no house there. You ain't built no house. You claim, oh, I built the house and I stopped and now I put a kubo on there. No, there's no house on that lot. You cheap. Yeah, he said, I'm on my honeymoon every day. You're right. It is. It's true. I know I am. But you got to know. Remember, we had this discussion the other day. You have to know when you got it good. That's the first thing. He said, Cal, you missed my guesses regarding the deceased conservative Christian Rush Limbaugh. No, Don Imus. No, it was, he was the religious guy that died. Jerry Falwell. He was the head of, he started all this stuff and getting them into religion and stuff. Getting religion into politics. Jerry Falwell. That's his name. Look him up. I ain't excuse me, what's the name of his channel? I'm not going to tell y'all that, man. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff, but you know, what did they tell you? You keep hanging around the barbershop, you're going to get your hair cut eventually. And that's what happened to him. He's going in there, you know, because, okay, if you're looking for a dime piece, looks only, that's where they are. In the bar, that's how they get their customers. They nice looking. He done went up there and got turned out. Was going to leave his family. The brother talked him out of it. Yeah. Falwell. Yeah, the brother talked him out of it. But see, he didn't know, already knew it. He's sitting on there on the internet giving y'all advice. Like he's a happy family man. Like everything's going good. No, he's a trick. Had went broke in Angeles City giving all his money to that woman. She's a bar girl. But see, y'all can easily be fooled. That's the reason I'm real. I don't put on no games. I don't make stuff up. I don't try to be somebody I'm not because I'm going to see y'all. Y'all going to see me. You're coming over here. So, but just sitting over there trying to watch people on the internet thinking, oh yeah, y'all easy to fool. They fooling y'all. I'm telling you now. He said, yeah, my rent is $650, but worth it. I paid 4 times that in Texas, but have all the convenience. My budget is $2,500, which is a good budget. No, this is Q that did this. It's on Q's channel. He said that was that guy from Switzerland buying and building a house in a big Lipa City gated community. No, this is Q. Yeah, I didn't see it. Why would you build Q? I watched that video. Why would you build the outdoor bathroom first for a house? Come on, man, don't lie. You act like I didn't see this house getting built. Do you think that was one of the last things that the engineer built was the septic tank. You gotta be crazy. We stopped after the outdoor bathroom. Man, come on, man. See? This is how you lose respect for y'all, man. Y'all be lying. You know good and well you ain't done all that, man. You guys act like you tell us one thing, and then you act like the stuff not gonna come, you know, out into the open. That people aren't gonna be able to see it. Certainly if you got a YouTube channel and you making videos about it. Because the minute I saw that video, I was like, this fool's lying. Where's the house he started? It wasn't done. you know, you got that little teeny tiny. I would be embarrassed to put my wife in that. Look, just stay at home with your family till I'm able to really do the right thing and put together 5,000 or 6,000. All you need is 5,000 or 6,000 out there in that province where you are, and you could build them a nice little house with you know the what they call these blocks. I can't think straight right now. She's doing my hands, but anyway, because they're only 15 pesos each. Then get the concrete and all of that. Put you a tin roof on there, but you're gonna spend. You cheap, man. That's all it is. You know, you the guy I'm talking about. You're not going to last over here. Pretty soon, you're going to take that woman back to America. You're not going to last over here. Hey, Rashard, thanks for that super chat. He said, you can't be cheap with a woman nowhere. He said, straight up, if you're going to another country, being cheap is lame and shouldn't be traveling at all. You're certainly not just going to have a good time over here. See, y'all look at too many negative videos about the Philippines. It's so much stuff on the Philippines. I'm talking about this tourism stuff. But y'all don't watch it. This is like a permanent vacation for real. You got to understand how many thousands of kilometers worth of coastline that the Philippines has. Why do you think they always voted now, Thailand may have this and that over the Philippines. Vietnam may have this or that over the Philippines. And all those other countries. But the beaches, I'm sorry, man. And if you go to a place like the Okada Hotel and Casino in Manila, go up in Metro Manila, it's always something that you can do over here. Okay? It's always something you can do over here. It's fun over here. That's why people stay here. The people who get bored, they don't have any money, or they handicapped some kind of way. They can't see, they can't hear, they're crippled, you know, they're old. The Philippines really for active people. He says, Sunshine Shoulders, my budget is $10,000 a month. I'm living here in Bangkok. $1,000 a month is just existing. Yeah, it's, guys, y'all gotta realize when I made that video, don't y'all realize, man, that was 6 years ago when I made that video saying that, you know, you could live off 1,000. And well, I didn't really say you could live off 1,000. I said the $3,000 budget is a myth. That was 6 years ago, and it was during the lockdowns. And I was doing it on 1,400. Now those days is over, man. The Philippines is wide open. If you try to come here with 1,000, man, Unc's gonna swoop in and take your woman, I tell you that. Yeah, he said an outdoor bathroom in 2026. Yeah, Hughes Line. And then to start out, that's the first thing you building? Who's he think he's talking to? He said, yeah, he started our house. You think somebody's crazy. After he finished the outdoor bathroom. Yeah, okay. You gotta be crazy. He said our house. He said, I'm not in, what, San Francisco? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, he did build a house, an outhouse. No, we're not rich. We're not rich, and we're not shaming you. We're just pushing back on you. You know, if you lie about something simple like that most people don't even have that Kubo you put on there. I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying when I saw that, I was like, this guy ain't built no house out here. He's talking about being cheap, but yet you're gonna spend $2.5 million. I don't believe you spent that because why would you do that? I don't know. Maybe that's why y'all. Like I said, we're in the situation we're in. We make them type of financial decisions like that. And you got a wife and a child, but you're gonna buy a big, basically you claim 2,000 square meter lot out in the middle of nowhere for $2.5 million, where you could have bought you a 300 square meter lot and took the other $1.5 million and built a nice house and been done with it. He said everything works with how much money you have. My house here was built in 8 months. That's a long time, man. You must got a big house. Because I have the money, being a retired engineer and used to managing projects, buying my materials and being fair. Okay. Also, you were the actual contract on your own house. That's a headache too. Yeah, he's just pushing back. This is good information right here. He said, don't y'all come over here to live in a Kubo. He said, talk about diabolical. Yeah, but they want you to tell, because remember one thing about men, certainly American men, we lie about everything. We can't even tell the truth to save our soul. Certainly when it comes to money. He said, things have changed. I was dating and living off, yeah, 500 per month, yeah, 20 years ago. Yeah, we're just having a conversation, man. We know this. How did Chris Johnson get brought into the conversation? We're grateful to be alive. We're just saying that don't be cheap over here. You're not going to enjoy yourself. But let's go to the next one. Okay, number 6 was personal growth and education. Number 7, and this is true too. The fear of missing out, keeping up with the Joneses, buying new gadgets and stuff, taking trips, you know, because your social circle's doing the same thing. Buying a new scooter or a car. Yeah. Fear of missing out, number 7. You see a lot of that. Number 8 is habit and impulse. Like a daily Starbucks, online subscriptions. The things that you buy impulsively just as a habit. Yeah. I don't believe nothing you say. If you can't just tell the truth about something simple like that, we don't care. We'll wait. We'll see. We'll believe it when we see it. Nah, that's not Q Adventures, man. Quit trying to. Q Adventures is nothing like that. He doesn't have a family. He said, y'all better tap the thumbs up for the funny conversation. Yeah. Hello, lurkers in here. What's up, TJ? He said, man, I always rare to catch any portion of one of these as of late. What's up, everybody? Yeah, we're just talking about, the Philippines is no place for a cheapskate. Guys coming over here You wasting your time and everybody else's time that comes in contact with you. If you coming over here, if I only got 1,000 a month, I'm not telling anybody. I'm gonna be the only one that's gonna know. He said 1 bedroom. Wow, 3,500, 660 square feet, which I guess is bigger than most condos in the Philippines. Well, it just depends. 660 square feet. That's the size of my house. Hell, if you spending 3,500 a month for that, at the end of the year, you've already spent 10 months would be 35,000, and then another 7,000. You're looking at $42,000 in rent. There is no house to see. There is no house to see. Okay? There is no house to see. That's the whole point. He claimed he didn't build it. He stopped after the outside bathroom. He said, if I was living on $1,000 a month, you couldn't waterboard that information out of me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd be the only one to know. There certainly ain't no woman over here, but because women here are, they're pocket watchers. They're gonna know pretty soon that that's all you got. He said, what gets me frustrated is seeing foreigners complaining over paying an extra 5 to 10 pesos on a trike. Yeah, in the province areas. If you're bitching about 5 to 10 pesos, you don't need to be on vacation. Yeah. Well, some guy was on here early. You must have saw he talking about they tried to charge him extra to ride in the tricycle because he was a big guy. And I'm like, they don't do that here. Yeah, he said he couldn't. He's telling the truth. He said, yeah, good one. Yes, it's a lot of beautiful women over here. That's one thing that's the reputation Filipino women have, being beautiful, around the world. But number 9 is instant gratification. It says human psychology favors immediate rewards over future savings. So that drives a lot of our spending. Okay, take care. Oh, it's tough, man. Y'all remember what's his name? His real name is Lee. He just went home, and I forget what his profile name is, but he's a big guy. And man, he lives in Lady, and he, going to the ferry. You should have seen him in there, man. He was squished in there. He looked like a fish in a can of sardines, man. This guy. I don't know how because I said I always tell people have a comfortable trip instead of a safe trip. I want you to have safe. I want you to be comfortable. And he said, Calvin, it wasn't comfortable in that tricycle. And I said to myself, I know. No, it's not. It's not regular guy. Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, he's a real big guy. And he was in this little bitty thing. I mean, half his body was hanging out the side. He said 8,000 miles just to be cheap. Some people just want okay, number 10, and then we'll go back through it and talk about whatever y'all want to. This is why they do it though. Experience versus possessions. He said consumers are increasingly spending money on experiences. like trips, concerts, adventure sports, than physical goods because they tend to offer lasting memories and greater perceived happiness. So a lot of people have come over here uh, just to say they came here. I got a friend who travels around a lot. He's based in the Philippines, but he goes to a lot of places. I think he's going to Hong Kong tonight. But he just came back from, where did he come? Japan. Of course, he went to Malaysia. I don't think he's been to Indonesia yet. Vietnam, Cambodia. Well, we do spend less money, but spending less money and being cheap are two different things. We counting money over here. Okay, you don't think that I'm spending a whole lot less money, but I'm not cheap. I'm gonna, if I want some of the creature comforts, I'm gonna have them. You know, I got a king size bed. It don't cost as much as a king size bed in America. Hell, you buy a mattress set in America of a good mattress set, king size, you're looking at about $2,000. Over here, it costs about a fourth of that. I paid 28,000 pesos for it. And what's that, about $460 for a good set. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, We're not discouraging people. If that's all you got, we're just saying that you're going to be like that guy, Dan Hilarious, who claims that after 4 months, he's burned out in the Philippines. The honeymoon period is over. And I was like, it's impossible. It's too much to see over here. You ain't been nowhere. Hey, Q, thanks for the super chat. He said, y'all sound like these NBA players who complain about how 15 million ain't enough. Man, y'all have a spending problem, not a money problem. You can make it off $1,000 a month easy. Well, you can survive over here. It ain't no making it. You're crazy. I'm trying to see if I got something in there for him. I don't know what you're talking about, Q. Yeah, you can come over here and survive off $1,000 a month, but you're gonna be miserable as hell. You ain't gonna be able to take your woman nowhere. You ain't gonna be able to buy nothing. I mean, what about your furniture? I mean, when me and Merlin first met, and I had that $1,400 a month, you start out with, we had bamboo furniture. But at least we have furniture. I mean, it wasn't. I'm just saying, what you gonna be living at $1,000 a month? Because by the time you buy your food, your rent, your utilities, and your immigration, man, just for yourself. We're not talking about if you've got a woman and she might have kids, or it might be your own children. Man, 1,000 is gonna be gone real quick. That last 10 days of the month, boy, you're gonna be crawling. It's gonna seem like a month. Run out of food or water or something, and then talk to me. Did you need a pillow? Or did you? Did you? I'm asking you.
I'll get a chair.
Okay, yeah, get the black one from out in back, not the new one. Out back, the back door.
Where?
Out the back, in the back. Wait, let me see if there's something for him to eat.
Hi.
Yeah.
Bawa. Pangingi.
Okay, wash your hands. You gotta wash your hands. Okay, I'm back. I got a little boy here. I got him a snack. Now I'm doing the pedicure. Because you're going to need a manicure and pedicure every now and then. Your woman ain't going to do that. We're not saying it's not possible, Q. It's very possible. But, you know, we're talking realistically. Yeah, if you ain't got no other choice, we're not saying, if that's all you got, we're not saying don't come. We're trying to give you a general idea of what your life is going to be like. It's not going to be too much fun. Hey, ISG Horn, thanks for that super chat. He said many guys don't understand supply versus demand. You can't get something of value being cheap. Whether it's a house or a woman, anything of value will cost. Yeah, a vacation, a retirement. I'm just saying, what are you know good and well that you're not just going to sit up in that province. Man, that would be a terrible life, man. Are you going to have a motorcycle queue or something? I mean, what are you going to do? Just sit up there like that? He said he's on a what? How much are you on? And barely making it, yeah. Well, you can get a break over here. We're just saying be reasonable, guys. Those days are over. He said, what's up, Cal, in the chat? I'm going to figure out my budget while I'm here, though I have a set amount already. Just got in the Philippines 3 days ago. Okay, again, to set up shop. Excited for this new journey. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Your whole psychology, I would give it, you know, some time to kind of die down a little bit because you're excited, man. You're going to do a lot of impulsive buying. You're certainly going to overspend on the woman that you get. You're excited to see her. It's a lot that goes on over here when you get off that plane, man. The sun is shining. It's about 82 degrees. You see all them smiling faces and stuff. You know you're not at home. People treat you like a celebrity here. You know, man, $1,000. I knew that, man, back in 2010. I came over here and I spent 2 months here. I had $20,000. I spent $7,000 in 2 months in 2010. When I got home, I was like, well, damn, I thought it was supposed to. This is before I knew anything about any of this I'm reading now. I was just over here, you know, living my best life. And I was like, well, damn, I thought it was supposed to be cheap in the Philippines. I spent $7,000. And this is back when the peso was only 48, 49. I'm being generous when I say 50. So you spend a lot of money. But I wasn't, you know, I wasn't being cheap, though. I was staying in the best resorts. I went everywhere for 2 months. I went to, let's see, we went to Bantayan Island, Bohol, Boracay, and there's another place, Camotes Island. And, you know, back then, Lapu-Lapu was big. Yeah, because you're not a local. You're not a local, man. It's a whole different culture over here. This is the old argument people try to bring up, man. I mean, if you want to do it, do it. You're not doing it, Q. You're lying. I mean, but remember how you were living. You were living with her parents. This is who you were living with. Yeah, you can do it if you're going to live with her parents. You know, and cook with wood and charcoal every damn day. Dig a hole out back and use the toilet. What? What are you doing? Here. You need to eat your lunch. Give this to the little boy. Here. I heard some guy on my already talking about too many brownouts in the Philippines. He don't know what he's talking about. He said, "What's the name of that man that lives on 400?" Yeah, but I'm starting to doubt that. I'm starting to doubt that. But he'll tell you himself he doesn't live an exciting life. And he's a good friend of mine because me and him was talking offline. And we were riding around. And, he told me, he said, yeah, he said he gets a lot more attention from women here in San Carlos than he does there. He said, Cal, if I lived here, I'd need a whole lot more than $1,000 a month. But remember now, this guy is disciplined. He's 72 years old. Okay, he's not, Q is 30. Okay, he's really a vegetarian. He's really a vegan type of guy. He ain't cheating. He ain't eating burgers on Fridays. But you've seen his lifestyle. Okay? We're not saying it can't be done. You would not live that kind of lifestyle with Times and Travels if you came over here. I couldn't do that for one day. I couldn't live his lifestyle for one day. I mean, I'd be done with 1 week trying to live like that. But this guy, you realize he don't even look 72, man. This guy exercises. He's like the exception. See, you could do it if you're the exception. That's what he is. He just ain't over here some fool that just shows up smoking, drinking, eating pig feet sandwiches and all the other crazy stuff that we do over here. He's not one of us. You ain't going to make it on $1,000 a month over here. You're certainly not 400. He said province life is torture. Look, I live in San Carlos City. People think it's the province. Man, sometimes it gets so quiet here, man. And the only thing that helps me, I've already got it down to a T. I get up and go walking. I either go walking, I listen to music, or I get a good book and start reading it. This is not Metro Manila. This isn't the gig and BGC, okay? But it has its advantages. But people think I live in the province, but I don't. So imagine if you lived in the province. At least we got a Gaisano, we got a McDonald's, we got a Jollibee, we got a nice park. At least we got that, man. You go to the province, you got none of that. The best thing you're going to get is maybe a big sorry store. You might get a bakery or two. He said, Cal, did you have money saved prior to moving there? He said, immigration requires a certain amount of savings to live there. No, it doesn't. But I did have money. I had about 17,000 US altogether. Well, somewhere around there. I had like 4,000 in cash, about 3,500 in cash, and then I had a check coming from my AEP. See, remember, I didn't leave till after AEP. I left December the 3rd, which AEP was over December 7th. I arrived in the Philippines December the 5th, 2018. So I knew I had like 14,000 coming, plus my renewals. At that time, it was like 1,900 a month. So, I was going to make that work. But you got to realize something, Rodney. I had been coming here for 9 years back and forth before I ever decided to come here for good. This is what people don't understand. I didn't just come here a few times and say, okay, I'm going to the Philippines. Man, I had a whole lot of knowledge, a whole lot more to be able to make that move than what guys are doing now. But you don't need a set amount. Now, unless you're going to apply for the SRV, then yeah, you do. But the Philippines has a unique tourist visa. A lot of men, this is something else I wouldn't tell anybody. You couldn't waterboard this out of me either, TJ. Really, I mean, me, of course, I've already told you. But if you're out there and you come on over here to the Philippines and you're living over here on a tourist visa, don't tell anybody, man. It's none of their business. Because they'll try to use that against you. But the Philippines has a unique visa where they'll allow you to do that. Okay? But no, unless you plan on getting an SRV, yeah, then you need a set amount of money every month. I believe it's, depending on which one you get, I believe it's somewhere between 800 per month and 1,000 per month. That's all I'm saying. We're saying that it's too much sunshine over here. This is one of those places. This is like the DR. This is like Brazil. This is like the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. You don't come to those places broke. These are vacation spots, man. You know, y'all think y'all know the Philippines. You really don't know it. This is one of those places, like Thailand, you know, Phuket and all those places. The Philippines, put some respect on the Philippines, but y'all don't. Y'all just hear all this so negative stuff. What means those soft-ass men that come over here looking for an America in Southeast Asia. You're not going to find it. This is a vacation spot, man. You're going to be in that mode. It takes you a long time to get out of it, man. And you're going to spend a lot of money initially until you get settled down. Until you bought everything. You bought your motorcycle. You bought your television set, whatever television set you want, and all of that. You know, you got your woman, you got her needs situated. How much money you think you're going to spend before the dust finally settles? So if you're a cheapskate, you're never going to get there. I'm just giving you some suggestions. You know, those days is over. Okay, he said 1,000 a month. And this guy's Filipino right here, RLVRV. Thank you for this. He says 1,000 a month equals 61,000 pesos per month. You're going to be eating from the Carinderia food. You know, you're going to be, we're not talking about locals. Yeah, they can do it. They've conditioned themselves for years to do this stuff. This is their lifestyle. You're talking about coming over here. You're used to Big Macs for breakfast. Okay, you smoking a pack or 2 cigarettes a day. You used to drinking 211, you know, and Old English 800. You're not going to change that stuff overnight. Yeah, any of these places, Guam. When you think about, you know, Colombia, you know, Cartagena and all those places, this is what you get in your mind when you talk about the Philippines, man. Stop listening to these guys who always try to put the Philippines down like it's a dump or something like that. They don't know what they're talking about. But that's their, you know, it's all subjective. That's their opinion. But when you get over here, you're going to see that's not like that. But when I made that video, guys, that was 2020 during the lockdown. When you probably could do 1,000. And there's people watching this right now. You know, I think being in Cebu, you know, go watch his channel. I think he's doing it. You know, he said plenty of versions of the medical plans for expats, but your location is going to be an issue for a first-class hospital, or you can even get an in-home doctor visit at the Oracle, yeah. He said, I live in Isabela province. Yeah, if you can make a decision to live in a province, guys, first of all, you better have good self-care. That's always going to be the best healthcare anyway. It doesn't take a whole lot to drink more water every day. Walk around the block a few times. You know, you don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you know. But most of us, we come over here with the same, we bring our bad eating habits over here. And then it doesn't make a difference. You could live in the hospital, it's not going to help you. Yeah, he said, not the 211. Yeah, you know the stuff we drinking over there. Hey, what's up, Saran a lot? Now, I think Saran a lot is living on a budget like that, but he's way up in the mountains, though. And, you know, he's been here for a while, so he's gotten used to that. We're not saying it can't be done. We're just saying you're sacrificing a lot, and most of you guys aren't going to be able to do it. He's ex-military. And all that. He's like one of them outdoorsman types anyway. He said, Cal's surrounded by pretty women catering to him. Bro, you're not just friends with one woman. No, I am. Sorry. Yeah, old English. You know what they drinking. And then they come over here and they do the same thing that just traded in for Red Horse. Hey, what's going on, brother? He says, Coach Cal, hey, man, I finally caught you live. Thanks for all the sound advice you've been giving, Al, especially about making a move there. You know, people are always going to make those videos because they get clicks about why people are leaving the Philippines. But no one's ever pushed back on the fact that I said there's more Americans coming here now. Now that the numbers for everybody else might have went down, but for Americans, our numbers are going up. Look it up if you don't believe me. We haven't been under 1 million in years. Certainly, since the Philippines reopened in 2022. Okay. Because it used to be, and this was even before all of this stuff happened with South Korea and China. South Korea, there used to be 2 times as many visitors coming to the Philippines than Americans. But ever since the Philippines opened up, America's led the way. And then, of course, now we're way at the top because of the robberies and all the crime, affecting South Koreans and Chinese. They don't come here like they used to anymore. When I came here in 2009, hell, 2 million South Koreans was coming to the Philippines every year. Hell, there was probably 4 times as many as Americans. Now we passed them up. You know, these guys are getting views for that kind of stuff. When they make a video like that. You know, then you see guys who've left the Philippines. Well, hell, they've been there. Look how long Gio was here. It may be time for him to go see other places, you know. But something's going on here for people to still be here. He said, Cal, that's so true. You can't live like a tourist. He said, once you start living there, I had to learn that when I bought my condo in Pattaya, Thailand, you have to make a realistic budget. Yeah, and this is what we were talking about earlier when he was like, I thought that's the whole point of moving overseas, to spend less money. Well, spending less money is not the same as being cheap. Okay, about once, when you're in Manila, you're going to spend more money. If you're just visiting there, like I did. Because we were eating out just about every night. You know, you're going to spend, man. I'm telling you, you go to places like TGI Friday, Chili's, Texas Roadhouse, any of them restaurants, any of them Western restaurants, man, you're going to spend $1,500 at least. You know, which is, in American dollars, is not that much. You're looking about, what, $25 or $30, but you do that every night? He said seaweed and barnacles. Yeah. Yeah, and this is one thing about the Philippines, you know, because they're listening. People are were complaining is like, look, man, there's not enough Mexican restaurants here. I can name 4 Mexican restaurants that I've eaten, and they all were good. The best being in Bantayan Island, and then La Lucha, and then they've even got one in Bacolod. And then we ate one in Manila. I forgot the name of that place. Hey, what's up? The McCoy Hill Vat. Yeah, I used to live in Chavley. That's where I moved from when I moved to the Philippines. He said, yeah, that Mad Dog, all that stuff, man. Buckhorn beer. You know, toward my last days of drinking, I would drink anything. Bumpy Face. It didn't matter. But we would drink Buckhorn, any of that cheap beer that you get a 12-pack for $2. That's what I was drinking. I'm not like everybody else. I got cheap. If it cost over $2, I wasn't drinking it. Night Train and all that. That's why I damn near killed myself. I haven't seen any cobras, but they're here. But I haven't seen any. I've never seen a snake in the Philippines. I'm pretty sure they're here, but I've never seen one. I'm pretty sure there's probably some out there in that field. I've never seen one. When I first met my son's mother, and we were walking up, they live in the mountain province. We were walking up the mountain to her mother's house. I saw a snake skin. Well, no, I'm sorry, dude. See, this is, the type of information you're generalizing. First of all, it just depends on who's cooking your food. He says Philippine food is garbage. Yeah, right. He says, that's why I'm thinking about Vietnam. You don't think they got problems over there too? Because I was thinking the same thing about Vietnam.
Outside.
Yeah. And KT from Vietnam had to snap me back to reality. He's like, no, we had a food poison scare over here in Vietnam. Man, I get good meals every single day. Marilyn and her mother, they both can cook. And if I want Western food, it's here in San Carlos City. Some of the best ribs you ever gonna eat is either at Palau or Malwani. Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. I'm gonna give you an extra 100 for coming the other day, and we wasn't here. I mean, I don't eat balut and all that stuff myself. But that's not the only thing over here. If you like seafood, man, they got some of the best seafood here. Certainly fish. I like the pancit, the Shanghai lupia. You guys are just, I don't even know where you're eating at. I mean, for you to make a blanket statement like that. Okay, thanks for this information right here. We need this. He's called Jamie's Chimichanga. Baguio's become a tourist, attraction. I mean, a big one. Bigger than it used to be. He said you choose what to eat no matter what their food is. It's organic. It's grain-fed, grass-fed, sorry. Mostly. So what are you saying, Ed Massa Blaster? I was eating keto way before coming to the Philippines, but he made a blanket statement like that. People say that all the time. Man, y'all just saw my videos up in Manila. You cannot complain about the food here. I don't know who's cooking your food. Where are you eating? I could find just about anything I want here. There's a place, shout out to guys Jay in Dumaguete. He took me to the hideout, man. I got some deep pan, Chicago style pizza. He said, How much is that pedicure? Well, since she comes to the house, it's 150 pesos for the manicure and the pedicure. She's one of the best, man. So it's less than $3. So it's 300, less than $5 now. Try to get that done in America. See how much it's going to cost you. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you, mine's is I paid it yesterday. It was 10,000. Luckily, the dollar's strong. So what's it, about $167 or something? That's my highest, bill here. I mean, nothing else even comes close. Now my water bill, because we had another leak, man, and it took us a long time before we caught it. It was 5,700. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. When the guy delivered the bill, because they deliver it here, they don't mail it. He never said, "Hey, Mr. Rhodes, you may have a leak." They don't really. His job is to deliver the bill. But if you see just a house, because I had one for 3,000, which I almost lost it, and I said the same thing. I was like, "Well, wow, why didn't he tell me?" Like, "Hey, man, you may have a leak." You got a house over here in the Philippines, and you get a bill like that, even 1,000, you got a leak somewhere. Because usually the water bill is somewhere around 300 pesos a month. But he didn't even bat an eye. So I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. Shit. I seen it was 5,700, man. But what can you do? He said, "Cal, I'm 72. What's the chances of finding a wife over there? I'm divorced for 9 years." A 100% chance. Okay? 100% chance. But just, be careful, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Mickey. All the crazy shit we were drinking. Yeah, but see, we had another one. We had to call the people back over here and have them fix it. Yeah, you're right about this. He said large crabs and shrimps with meat are a lot more affordable in the province. Yeah, because a lot of times you can catch the fishermen. When we were in Sikihor, it's the same way. You can catch a fisherman coming in. You be right there the minute before they get to the market. But a lot of them already have their orders from the restaurants and stuff. So you really got to get there early. Yeah, you talking about, yeah, that's I had my whole land replaced, but it's so far from the main line. This is another thing. Look, when you start talking about buying a lot and building a house, man, look, always ask them, well, how far is it from the electric pole? How far is it from the water line? Can I get Wi-Fi here? Because really, we're too far off the beaten path. We had to pay the man under the table to hook us up. Now we're in the system, but the people told us, no, where your location is, we can't give you Wi-Fi. So Maryland tracked the man down and said, "Hey, can you hook us up?" And he did. But the electric, I had to buy 10 electric poles and the wire. You have to do that yourself. That's how far we are from the electric and from the water. So it's always going to be something, man. But always make sure before you go buying land or whatever it is, even leasing it, that you know how far am I from the water, electric, can I get cable and Wi-Fi. He said, "My ex left me and I got a free house." Well, hell, sell it. Yeah, he says the World Bank's classification of Philippines in an upper middle income country today. when you're talking about the economy, yeah, that's what they're talking about. See, the Philippines isn't a third world country. It's one level above that. They call it something. I should have looked this up, but South Africa, it's on the same level. South Africa, Brazil. It's a couple of more countries like that. They're no longer considered third world countries. But yeah, because of the economy. See, the Philippines economy is built, it's mimicking the American economy. Remember, their whole government is a copycat of the U.S., really. That's the reason why things cost more in the Philippines than it does in Thailand and Vietnam, because of the influence of America. But man, before the pandemic, man, this place was booming. Yeah, we had to pay, man, because I was tripping. I mean, usually what happens is, since we hire an engineer or our contractor to build our house, it's usually his responsibility to get the water cut on and the electric cut on. Well, hell, because I was posting about my house, hell, he got busy. So Merlin had to do it. Yeah, I am. Because I'm in he said I'm sort of off the grid. Not really. I'm just saying that I'm in an undeveloped subdivision and I'm way in the back. I'm on block 6, lot 2. There's only 2 other little roads and then you're at the end. And I'm way down, from that main road. Because if they come from this way, no way would I been able to connect to the water or to the electric. He said the Pete's sister had a broke electric meter. Even after she reported it, it was 12 months before they actually fixed it. They were paying 1,000 pesos for 12 months. Now she's on a full solar on electric car. It's crazy because it just depends on where you live, because when we were renting, man, our electric bill was so cheap. Sometimes, man, our electric bill would be, one time our electric bill was 112 pesos when we were living in Malawi. He said, how much Wi-Fi speed you got? I believe I got 400. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking it is. I don't use Globe. I use PLDT because we got that same little package. You get the home phone to go along with it. The landline phone. But yeah, the Wi-Fi here, this is fiber. This is fiber, 5G that we've got. No, the Philippines was not a developing country. It's called something else. It's in between their Ronin travelers. I forgot what they call it. But no, it's not a developing country. Let's see what we got here. He said my ex pays all my bills. Oh, here we go. Watch this guy. I don't know who he is. No, we very seldom use it, but it just came with the package. And sometimes, if Marilyn doesn't have a load and she's trying to reach me, she can call me. Your PLDT is when it's on, but sometimes it does have trouble. Yeah, this might be something. It sounds similar to this, but yeah, it's not a developing country. Man, trust me, the Philippines had the fastest growing economy in all of Asia, man, before the pandemic, and it never It's going to take a long, long time. Set the Philippines back so far. I don't know if it'll ever catch up, man. Certainly, man, y'all don't understand about Lapu Lapu. Man, Lapu Lapu used to be nice, man. I mean, the it's so congested and so many people there that it has to keep moving, moving, moving. Because if it ever stops, anything stagnant is going to die. Man, that thing stopped for 2 years, and all them people right there, all them shops closed. When the Philippines first opened back up and friends were coming and I was meeting them over in Lapu Lapu, I couldn't believe it. Lapu Lapu looked like a ghost town. Man, Lapu Lapu used to be all of that. It used to be like you were going to Panglao Bahal or something. It was really, really nice. Yeah, this was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, he said, how can you choose? Well, see, this is another reason why vloggers are important. We give out good information, you know, but it's just like the tip of the spear, really. I mean, you can't go 100% and make all of your decisions based on what one vlogger says. But you got guys in Dumaguete, you got me here in San Carlos, you got people in Manila, you got people in Cebu, Iloilo, Bacolod, Angeles City. It really ain't that hard. What you have to do is come over here. It's really what you have to have some idea of what you're looking for, so you'll know when you find it over here. Yeah. But it's something like that. A lot of times that's what happens. I know this is why I'm in San Carlos City. This is true here. Okay. That's usually where you end up settling. Because I've always said, man, don't ever take your woman out of her comfort zone, man. If you do, don't take her far. I mean, I'm not going to move in the province. But this is where her strength is. Maryland knows everybody here. When I take her to Dumaguete, if we just go to Bacolod, she's lost. But here in San Carlos City, she's like the mayor. And this is a mistake guys make. The girl from, I can say, okay, if she's from Zamboanga or someplace you don't feel comfortable, okay, you may have to take her to the Polar. I wouldn't take her out of Mindanao. But the mistake we make is we take them away from their support. Everything they know is here. So now it's going to be like 2 foreigners in Cebu. I'm talking about me and Merlin been together for 7 years. If we moved to Cebu right now, me and her I would know more about Cebu, having lived there for 2 years, than Maryland. She knows nothing about those places. She knows everything about San Carlos City. So that's what happens. Guys will say, okay, I'm moving you from, you live down in, let's say, a friend of mine, his girlfriend's from Bislick City. See, I'd have been in Bislick City, but he moved all the way to Manila. She don't know nothing about Manila. She probably does now, since they've been there for so long. But yeah, it's not that difficult to find a place to live. You got to go and experience it, for yourself. But yeah, guys, let's go down this list again, and I'm going to get off here because they're in there cooking. That's the biggest fish I've ever seen. I don't know how much that damn fish must have cost me. Because fish is high now. But her mother makes that sweet and sour fish, man. I mean, it's so delicious. Okay? And she pours that, she takes the mixed fruit and, makes the sauce. It's so good. That sauce is so good, you can pour it over pancakes. And they pour it over the fish. It's delicious, man. But yeah, thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shows. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, don't cheat yourself when you come to the Philippines. I mean, if that's all you guys 1,000 and you trying to get out from under that high cost of living over in America. Okay, I get it, but I'm just warning you that you're not going to live the lifestyle you see a lot of us living. It's just impossible to do it, man. Will you be in a place like the Philippines, the sun shines all the time, nice beaches, people treat you nice, you safe and all that? Yeah. But once that dust settles, man, that's going to be a hell of a life, man. You can do it. You see people doing it. But boy, if you still active and you still, got your mojo, 1,000 just ain't gonna get it, guys. I'm sorry. If you want to come over on vacation, you might can do it. But to live here, after about 4 or 5 months, man, you're gonna be done. You're gonna be done. Your food bill is gonna that's what's gonna get you. It's the food. Because when you go to the grocery store, it really not that much difference between going to the grocery store, believe it or not, at home. Some things, you got to learn, how to substitute the local brands for the brands you're used to buying at home. Like, we got something called, when I'm at home, I usually eat Jiffy peanut butter or something like that, Peter Pan. Well, over here, they got something called Lady's Choice. Otherwise, all the peanut butter over here is super sweet. Some of it's got the little granulars in them.
No, I was gonna get my short.
Okay. It's just going to be a hard time finding a match. So what you got to do is try to find that match. Otherwise, because eggs over here are expensive. We're paying $325 for a tray of eggs, which I guess that ain't that bad because that's 30 eggs. So what's that? 2.5 dozen for about $5 over here. But 1,000, yeah. You're just not gonna be able to enjoy what makes the Philippines great. Jim and Sophia short. Hell, you're going to spend $1,000 going to Boracay. The only reason I was able to do it with Merle and them for $300 was because they're locals. Okay? It was really more than that. But they paid me some of it back, her 3 friends, with the Airbnb. Because I paid, let me see, what was it? It was like $60 a night for the Airbnb for 3 nights, but they were right on the beach. And then I gave Merlin $16,000. Well, no, I gave her $12,000. For transportation and just to eat. But I wouldn't be able to do that if I was there. Yeah. They're notorious pocket watchers there. It ain't going to take long, even though they're locals and you think, oh, 61,000, that's a good job over here. Not if they have certain expectations for foreign men, guys. Y'all don't understand that. This is 2026. This isn't 2009 when I came over here. These women are up on game now because they listen. Y'all don't listen. Y'all think people don't know anything. You say Sunshine Shoulders can't tell me nothing. The women aren't like that. You come over here with 1,000 dudes, that woman ain't gonna really want you, man. Because she knows $1,000 a month is not gonna be able to change her life. He said, can I bring my BMW with me? Yeah, it's probably gonna cost you more to bring it over here than it's worth. Yeah, happy 4th, everybody. I appreciate that. He said, yeah, and see, here's another thing. But see, this is a great point. He says, if you go to S&R or Landers, you can get U.S. things, but it will cost. But see, in a place like the province where Q claims he's going to be, there is no S&R and Landers. There's no S&R and Landers here. The closest one here is in Bacolod. And then Cebu. and Elo. But yeah, that's right. I never had a problem getting the things that I want. Excuse me, that I want. This is how you know. It's like the guy Master Blaster. He's not over here. He hasn't been over here for real because he claimed the food is bad over here. Okay. You can tell because I'm like, dude, if you've been over here, you know good and damn well, I eat just as good here as I did at home. Oh yeah, it ain't gonna be worth it. You might as well take that and buy you something when you get over here. And you know, this is everybody's this is your decision. He said, I only want a young woman because they will speak English better. Well, you know, be careful what you wish for. Okay? Be careful what you wish for. Because they certainly, yeah. I saw that. But, you know, they know who to do like that. They're not going to really, you know, when you got guys like him and other guys like that who want to be bullies like that, man, they're not really tough guys for real. Because the tough guys, they don't go around saying they're tough. They don't go around picking on people and got their chest poked out. There's tough guys over here, though. Trust me. If you ever go and watch that video I told y'all to watch about the big man in the Philippines or whatever it was, bringing down the big man, that guy that was earning all that money. He had an online pharmacy. The guy, I thought that he had, I said 10 million. He had $100 million in shoe boxes in his condo in Manila. 100 million. This stupid fool started dealing with drugs and weapons and all kind of shit. And ended up getting busted. He's probably out now. Oh, well, hell, what are you talking about the food then for? I knew you hadn't. When you talking about the food is crap. What you listening to? Man, I could show you. We can only get lobster every so often where we are. Okay, because we're not really on the ocean. Like if you go to places like Zamboanga and different things like that, right? You can get lobster. Man, Maryland bought one of the biggest lobsters for 850 pesos. What's that? $14? It was more lobster meat than I've ever eaten before. He said, yeah, there are gangsters over here, but they don't believe it. You got to see them, though. They're not going to walk around and, oh, look at how tough I am and, you know, fighting on camera and stuff like that. Tough guys don't do that. My brother's a tough guy. Well, hell, he's 70 now. He'll be 71. He ain't a tough guy anymore. But he used to be. Quiet as a mouse, didn't bother anybody. Guy messed with him at the pool hall. He threw a guy through a plate glass window. I never had any problems after that. The people were shocked. They was like, but we already knew. Yeah, my brother was a tough guy, but you'd have thought he was the nicest guy in the world. He just never bothered anybody. That guy came in there, he was drunk, kept messing with my brother. He threw him through a plate glass window. My brother's lucky he didn't kill the guy. But after that, nobody fucked with my brother or any of us anymore. Yeah, you go down in Mindanao, where ISIS is down there, training people now and bomb making and all kind of stuff. Okay, those are the tough guys. Yeah, they got salmon here, cheap tuna. Man, they got some of the. When I was living in not Lapu-Lapu. When I was living in Zamboanga, I was buying Lapu-Lapu, man, for 225 pesos a kilo. I'm talking about blue marlin. Man, these guys are talking about the food here. They're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, he threw him through a plate glass window. He's lucky that he didn't kill the guy. That he went all the way through the damn thing. The only thing my brother had to do was pay the damn thing. Pay for it. He just shattered the whole window. You know, whatever was left, you know, swinging. He just took him by the back of his collar and the seat of his pants and threw him out the damn window. At that time, my brother was about 6'1", 220. But take care, y'all. Appreciate it, man. I'll see y'all next time.